Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. And I have a... I'm going to put this in quotes. I have a review for the new Netflix film, Fatal Affair, which... like that's such a misleading title, because when I think of an affair, I think of, like whatever Trump has done and, what Clinton's done, Bill, and probably Hillary. I think of something happening, multiple times. This doesn't even happen once, but I'll get to that. So this, oh, son of a bitch, of course he did. Okay, so this is written and directed by Peter Sullivan. I never reviewed it for the channel. It's a bad movie. He went ahead and wrote and directed, I believe. Yes, he did. Son of a bitch. He wrote and directed the film Secret Obsession for Netflix, which starred Mike Vogel and Brenda Song. So that makes a lot of sense. So Fatal Affair stars Nia Long, who, let's just get out of the way, she is almost 50 and she can still get it. She looks absolutely incredible still. Nia Long from, of course, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. Second will probably be Boys in the Hood. You know what? That's never mind. I won't say that. But Nia Long's an incredible actress. You've seen her in those things. Soul Food, which I think is an amazing film. Omar Epps. I think that hurt me more to see Omar Epps in this shit, because I always think Love and Basketball, one of my favorite movies ever. I love Love and Basketball, and just seeing him in this, I was like, oh, come on, brother, like, what are you doing? But Nia Long plays Ellie. She's this attorney, high-end attorney who goes ahead and is working at a firm, decides she wants to go ahead and do her own thing. So as the movie kind of starts off, she's realizing, hey, I don't want to go ahead and work for someone else. I want to be my own boss. Her firm hires Omar Epps, who's like a cyber. I'll be honest, I'm actually blanking on what the hell he does. He's like a cyber analyst, I want to say. So he keeps people. He makes sure that you can't hack into like companies, secure and confidential files. And so, of course, they went to college together. It'd been about 20 years, they say in the film. And I gotta be honest, guys, this is a TV, like, it even shows the rating when you go on Netflix. It's a TV 14 rating. So this is no better than that movie Obsessed with Ali Larter and Idris Elba. And I'll be honest, I actually liked that one more, because that leaned way more into how insane it was. And at least you got to see, Ali Larter being really sexy, but also, torturing Idris Elba in a sick way that was entertaining in a very B movie sort of way. This movie is, I don't want to say it's taking itself seriously, because it's not, because that would require a script to go ahead and actually a decent script to be taken seriously. But good grief, this was just boring as sin. So let's just go through the quick points here. So I did appreciate, how do I put this? I appreciated one aspect of this film, and that was the relationship that Ellie, Nia Long, had of her husband, Stephen Bishop, who plays Michael. Stephen Bishop most likely from Friday Night Lights. He's actually really great on that show. But, and of course from Criminal Minds, which I actually really liked him on there. But the thing that's frustrating about this is it feels like even Omar Epps and Nia Long, their chemistry, it's kind of there, kind of not. It's just there are these points where, it's supposed to be a very tense scene, and, they're supposed... The problem is you have to accept the fact that these two are friends from jump, and that they, have a history together. And I never really bought the fact that they were friends. There are a couple moments here and there I was kind of like, well, okay, but it's very generic stuff. They're not talking about like, hey, remember that one party where, we were listening to soul music and, we vibed out or anything like that. It just seems very like, oh, remember that time we grabbed coffee? Like, if you're gonna go ahead and play these two off as being, former best friends, lean into some more personal shit. And even when David is talking about, oh, we were friends so long ago, if I'd asked you out, what would you have said? Even that comes across just kind of hollow. The one scene where it did feel like they had chemistry, and I am blanking on the Adele song, not the Adele, that would have been funny, the Estelle song, pardon me, is they go to this club, and Estelle comes on, and again, I'm blanking on the song, my apologies, but they go ahead and they start dancing with each other. And that was the one scene I went, okay, maybe it does feel like they're, like, they're still going ahead and kind of feeling each other a little bit. And of course, David and Ellie, they do that thing where they look at each other like, oh my god, what are we doing? And they kiss. And then they go into the bathroom. And this is where the whole fatal affair thing really, I call this false advertising, because this isn't like when I think of an affair, I think of something like unfaithful. I think of something like Fatal Attraction, where you got to see him at least get down. David goes ahead and puts Ellie on top of the sink in the club, might I add, and he pulls her panties down. He's kissing her bra, which, I mean, good for you. And she stops him. She goes, "I can't do this." So I was like, okay, okay, yeah, like, you got to like second base. You didn't even get to round home. Like, is that really an affair? And so she immediately the next day talks about how this was a mistake. We shouldn't have done this. The thing is, she's never tempted by him again. So putting the whole affair out there, I went, I think that's actually false advertising. They should have just called this, parentheses black Fatal Attraction, because really it's just a very intense attraction that she had a weak moment on, but she stopped herself. I mean, she stopped herself before she was going to have sex, which, credit to her. So, yeah, the whole Fatal Attraction thing, or the Fatal Affair title, I kind of went, it's kind of misleading. And of course, we go through the whole, classic tropes. David goes ahead. So I will say, the fact that David is a hacker, it's pretty much God mode for this movie, because he's able to hack into her camera. He's able to hack into into her security cameras at her house. He has this magical key machine that goes ahead and just overrides the private code she has for her house to go in and get into her house. I went, okay, what? Like, there are just these points in the film I went, that's really silly. But Omar Epps, I will give him this. When he has to play crazy, he does play crazy well. And he is just insane in this movie. There's this point where he sends her like a couple vinyls. He's like, oh, remember we used to dance to these? And Ellie's like, we can't do this anymore. Like, I've tried to spare your feelings. And he ends up just cracking this vinyl in half like it's nothing. I was like, all right, really? That's how this is happening? And later on in the film, he is somehow able to restore said vinyl and play it when he, of course, has the family captured. I'm realizing my new least favorite trope in film when it comes to females is this one. So before, you had the whole, there's two powerful women. They can't exist in the same world. They have to fight each other, and be in competition and envious of each other. That used to be my least favorite trope. It's been replaced by this one. I'm dating someone but we've only been dating a month, but I'm going to take their opinion over yours. That is my new least favorite trope for women in film, because David, because Ellie goes ahead and cuts him off, says we can't talk anymore, and blocks his number and everything. He goes ahead and starts seeing her friend Courtney, and I actually didn't mind the actress, Maya Stoughton is what I'm gonna go with. I guess this is really like her big, really one of her first big roles. She used to be on Grey's Anatomy. Oh, she was on Castle. I knew she looked familiar. But David starts dating Courtney, and Ellie goes up, tells her at a point that, look, David isn't who he says he is. He's a psychopath, and da da da. And I will say this movie doesn't do a good job of concept of time. Like the film just kind of happens because fuck you, that's why. But there is this point. If you're doing the math again, no concept of time, but David and Courtney couldn't have been dating more than a month, maybe 6 weeks, because it feels like this is just happening day by day. But Courtney, when she's dating David and Ellie goes, he's wrong and he's terrible and he's dangerous, she goes, oh, he told me he would say that. And even Ellie kind of looks at her like, what? And she goes, yeah, David told me how you wanted to have this affair and how you were obsessed with him, da da da. And I can't remember if they say how long Courtney and Ellie have known each other, but it's at least been a couple years from just listening to the, quote, script, unquote. So the fact that Courtney is so quick to go, you wronged him, David's the best, I'm sitting there going, you're dumb and you deserve what you're gonna get. And I mean, she doesn't get killed or anything. Spoiler. For the record, I'm saving you precious time by not watching this movie. Of course, Ellie and what's her husband's name, Steven, have a daughter who's played by I think it's is it KJ Smith? I believe it's KJ Smith. Yeah. Oh no, it's Aubrey Cleland. Pardon me, who plays Brittany. And this is her like big debut. I felt so bad for her that this is what she got to star, co-star in. And I will say, Aubrey Cleland, she's not bad in this. It's just the script. It's just, it's poo. It's very much falling to that line of black cinema films. I think of something like, what was the one with Megan Good? I think The Intruder. With her and Dennis Quaid. I think it's, The Intruder. It's falling to that line of black films where someone's crazy and they're getting stalked by someone. It's falling into that that trope. I'm trying to think of other ones, but I'm just genuinely blanking right now. But it's become like its own subgenre. These black films where someone has an affair or someone has a stalker. It's dumb. It's really just become stupid. The Perfect Guy, that was the other one I was trying to think of, but it's just gotten ridiculous that this is the whole new subgenre, and like none of these films are fucking good. I mean, this is no better than like the only one I've kind of seen work is Enough with Jennifer Lopez. I actually really like Enough. I thought that was a good movie, but it's it's so much like The Boy Next Door and this dumb shit like that. There's nothing about this that really makes it stand out, and it's not even sexy enough for me to say, oh, you should go ahead and watch it just for the sex. Again, Nia Long looks great. Omar Epps looks great too. The cast in this is really impressive. It's just a shame they couldn't do a little fucking more of what they had. There is a character in this movie, and I won't spoil this because I just thought it was hilarious, when David, of course, fakes his death, because there's a point where, of course, that has to happen. And, by the way, it's very stupid. Like, the way he does it, first off, it's a real dick move, the body he uses, and I'll just leave it at that. Secondly, the fact that he's so vain, and even his psychologist, or psychiatrist, I believe, says that he's got, standard narcissistic personality disorder. He says that. And when he fakes his own death by suicide, everyone just goes, oh, yep, he killed himself. I remember sitting there thinking, you really think he's not, like, it'd be like Sherlock Holmes killing himself. Like, really? You think he, now, for the record, David is no Sherlock Holmes, but to think that he's not, like, he isn't vain enough, you know what I mean? Like, to think that he, as vain as he is, that he would still kill himself, I thought it was absolutely insane. And the fact that everyone went, oh yeah, totally makes sense. I remember thinking, oh wow, you guys all deserve to die for being that not on alert. This is just bad, just from start to finish. There is a point where Ellie goes ahead and breaks into David's house, and may I point out, for being a hacker, he doesn't have locks for any of the shit in his house, where he has these like these separate computers of women he's stalked, and it's just in a door. It's just in a room that you can unlock. I remember sitting there thinking, "Wow, for being a hacker, your place is not fucking secure." That was something I went. That's ironic, and that's just a plot hole. That's absurd. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate. Like the thing is, I didn't hate this. This wasn't a Fall from Grace, that Tyler Perry film that came out earlier this year. I was just sitting there laughing at it, like this is dumb. Like there's no reason for this to exist. Nia Long is a producer on this, and I guess Nia Long just came out. I want to say yesterday or Friday. I guess I would have been yesterday, but I believe she came out and was talking about Charlie's Angels, the original reboot that they did. With Cameron Diaz, Lucy Liu, and Drew Barrymore, and talked about how she was up for the role. I believe Lucy Liu's role, and how she said she was too black, and they said she was too old. But Lucy Liu is 2 years older than her, and I'm kind of like maybe you were too black for it, but being too old, like come on now. So Nia Long, God bless you. I really like her quite a bit. Again, she can still get it, but good grief though, like be in better shit. I mean, as talented as you are, I would expect you to be in better shit. Omar Epps too. So I could never even tell you to watch this as like a gag, really. But I didn't hate it either. I'll give it a D for dumb. It's a dumb movie. And again, it is on Netflix. If I had paid to see this in theater, I'd probably be giving it an F. But if you want to get high like I did and watch it and giggle and just go, this is insanely stupid, I mean, it's not even no, D-. Never mind. I'll sit there thinking about it. If it played at the sexiness a little bit, I would have maybe said, oh, okay, cool. But nah, D-. That's just nah. Not worth your time. Watch The Roommate, or watch Secretary. Secretary is actually a good movie with James Spader and Maggie Gyllenhaal. Watch that if you want to see like something kind of sexy. Watch that. That's actually good. This is not. But I digress. But everyone, have you seen Fatal Affair? Hopefully you haven't. I will say this is better than The Wrong Missy, that David Spade movie I watched a couple months ago. It's better than that shit. But this is bleh. But have you watched it? Let us know what you thought in the comments below. You can go ahead and like us on Facebook at The Real Pineapple. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at JHunterRealPineapple. Follow Scott on Twitter at Nearman1st. And you can follow Colin on Twitter at The Real O'Neill. And you can go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and leave us a comment. Leave us 5 stars. Let us know what you think of the podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud, Apple and Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio at The Real Pineapple. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We'll have reviews up this upcoming week for The Umbrella Academy Season 1. I'm really excited to get in that. And for Central Park Season 1, which I believe its finale is Thursday the 23rd. So if it's not the 23rd, if it's 30th, we'll have it for you the next week, but we'll have reviews up for Umbrella Academy Season 1 as well as The Old Guard, which I want to rewatch it again before I review it because I want to give that movie kind of more of a deep dive. But everyone, thank you so much for your support. We love you all. Please stay safe out there. Wear a mask, and we will talk to you guys soon. Take care.